today I want to show you a bunch of different ways you can start a long tail cast on. So the usual way is with a slip knot, and let's talk about slip knots for a second. So you can make slip knots two different ways. You can make them so that the tail end pulls to tighten the yarn, or you can make them so that the working end pulls to tighten the knot. So let's start with a cross. Doesn't matter which direction you make your cross, but if you want your tail end to tighten the knot, you pull your tail end through the loop. So like that. If you want your working yarn to tighten the knot, then you pull your working yarn through the loop. Voila. Okay, so let's start with the standard version. Have a slip knot. The direction your slip knot goes for a long tail cast on doesn't really matter. It matters more if you're doing a cable cast on or a knitted cast on. But let's do this. So we've got a slip knot. Doesn't really matter which direction it went. And you do up the thumb loop, around the index finger loop, drop your thumb out, pull it snug. So this is the standard long tail cast on that everybody learns. And it's nice and easy. You've got a corner here. So this is a swatch with a slip knot. And you'll see that it makes a nice corner down here. You've got a little nudge right there. So let's take a look at the next option. So then you can do a long tail with a twist. You don't have to start it with a slip knot. You can start it with a twist with it facing toward you. So you can see that the top, if you're looking down the needle, you can see that the top thread is coming toward me, and that's going to be my thumb strand. So with this twist, it helps to hold the loop. So because it's a loop and not a slip knot, it'll slide around like this. So you don't want it to slide around like this while you're working it. So you're going to stick a finger there or a thumb, either way, whichever is more comfortable, just to hold it in place until you get your first stitch cast on, and then it anchors. So do some of these, and you can see already that there's a little bit more of a slant here. So let's look again. We've got, this is our slip knot. It's got a corner. This one is a twist toward you. So if you see the corners down here, you've got a slant here instead of a corner. So this could be really helpful if you were doing something that increased along this edge and you wanted it to feel continuous. You could use just a twist instead of a slip knot. So let's try it, twisting the twist the other direction. So if you're doing a twist away from you, you can see now that this top thread faces the other direction. It's going back toward the index finger. And again, I need to anchor this point before I start casting on. And you can see we've still got this slant. So let's take a look at the swatches. So this is the slant for twist toward you. This one is the slant for twist away. So you can see we've got this little nubbin here that we don't have down here because it's in the back. It's right here. So it hides a little more. So, you know, you both get the same angle, but you get a slightly different look, depending on whether you twist toward you or twist away. So this one is twisting toward you, that one's twisting away. You can also start a long tail cast on without a twist at all. So just laying the yarn over the needle. Again, you have to hold it, anchor it in place until you get your first stitch in. So do some of that. And you can see that it's got a slant here still, but let's look at the swatch. So the thing, let's look at, here's the other twists. With a twist, we get the slant everywhere, right? But if we look at these, the garter stitch lines are pretty straight. On this one, it starts to dip down. So starting it without a twist makes that first stitch pull downward just a little toward the cast on edge. So that twist is necessary if you want your rows to feel even rather than pulling down. So let's take a look at these again. We've got a Slipknot, has a nice little corner. This is a twist toward you. It has a slant with this little nubbin in it. This is twist away from you, the slant with the nubbin kind of in the back. And then this is no twist at all, and it starts to pull the knitting downward. So there you go.